Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping straight into something pretty pressing. The weather forecast for Europe and West Russia, specifically for July 6th to 15th, 2025. But look, this isn't just a 10-day outlook. We want to use this specific forecast as a lens.
Right.
To really see the bigger picture of long-term climate change. Our mission, using the source material you've shared, is to unpack both.
And it's so relevant right now. I mean, the whole idea of normal weather, it's changing right in front of us.
Yeah.
Just think 2024 was Europe's warmest year on record. And May 2025, globally, the second warmest May ever recorded.
Wow.
So what used to be extreme, that these heat waves or storms, they're becoming the baseline, the new normal.
So it forces a rethink, doesn't it?
Yeah.
About what summer even is anymore.
Exactly. The data keeps redrawing the lines. We can't just react anymore. We have to plan ahead. Proactively.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Starting with Europe. Your sources are flagging a major heat wave for southern, central, and eastern Europe. That's for this July 6th to 15th window.
Significant?
We're talking temperatures widely, 5 to 10 degrees Celsius above normal?
That's the projection. And some spots could even push past 40 degrees Celsius, especially around July 12th, 13th.
And what's driving that? You mentioned these high-pressure systems.
Yeah, these persistent high-pressure systems, often called a heat dome. It basically acts like a lid.
Trapping the heat.
Trapping the hot air, exactly. And compounding that, we've got these exceptionally warm Mediterranean sea temperatures, mid to high 20s Celsius already.
Right.
And what's really crucial here is how those warm seas stop things cooling down at night.
Oh, okay.
Which is just terrible for human health. Remember the 2022 heat wave in Europe?
Yeah, that was devastating.
Over 61,000 excess deaths.
Right.
And the science is pretty clear about half of those directly linked to climate change, making it worse.
Naff. That's staggering.
It is. And yet, despite knowing these risks, only 21 out of 57 countries in the WHO Europe region actually reported having a national heat health action plan.
Really? F you.
Yeah. It shows a big gap, The science points one way, but the policy, it's lagging behind.
Okay, let's shift east then. West Russia and the North Caucasus. The forecast there for the same period, July 6th to 15th. It tells a different story.
Sort of. On the surface, yes. The sources suggest a lower risk of widespread severe storms for that specific window.
Lower risk.
We're just looking at some isolated thunderstorms, mainly in the North Caucasus, maybe July 6th, and then again towards the end, July 14th, 15th.
So the forecast literally says no significant storms predicted for the North Caucasus during this time.
For that specific 10-day period, yes. But, and this is important, if we zoom out connected to the bigger picture, this calm patch contrasts sharply with the long-term trend for Russia.
How so?
Russia as a whole is warming 2.5 times faster than the global average.
2.5 times, wow.
So while this specific forecast seems quiet, the historical data, say from 1990 to 2019, shows a clear, significant increase in damaging weather events. Heavy rain, strong winds.
So more extremes overall, even if this particular week looks calm.
Exactly.
Right.
It points to a more volatile water cycle. You could get, intense drought followed suddenly by flash floods. Huge implications.
So we have this European heat wave, a quieter short-term storm outlook in Russia. How did these connect back to human-induced climate change? What's the common thread?
It really comes down to attribution science and just the basic physics.
Right.
Human activity didn't just contribute to those European heat waves. It made them roughly 2 to 4 degrees Celsius hotter.
2 to 4 degrees hotter.
And about 100 times more likely to even happen. That's a huge signal.
Definitely.
And then think about storms. A warmer atmosphere holds more moisture, right? About 7% more for every degree Celsius increase.
Which fuels heavier rain.
Precisely. It supercharges rainfall intensity. Plus, you've got these larger patterns changing, like Arctic amplification.
Where the Arctic warms faster.
Yeah. And that can make the jet stream kind of wobble, become wavier and slower.
Leading to stalled weather systems.
Yeah.
Like those heat domes.
Exactly. Things get stuck. And then there's the North Atlantic Oscillation, another big atmospheric pressure pattern. That's also becoming more extreme, which tends to amplify heat waves over Europe.
Okay, so it's all interconnected.
Yeah.
We've got this specific July 6th, 15th forecasts, the heat in Europe, the relative calm in Russia for now, but underlying both is this clear signature of climate change.
It really is, and I think this raises a really important point for everyone listening, which is we urgently need to shift. Move away from just reacting when disaster strikes and towards being proactive, building resilience.
Right. Across Europe, across Russia.
Absolutely. We need infrastructure upgrades that can handle these extremes. We need those heat health action plans everywhere.
Yeah.
Better early warning systems. It's not optional anymore. It's crucial.
It leaves you with a final thought, doesn't it? Something quite provocative. What we used to call extreme weather.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's rapidly just becoming weather, the norm.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that fundamental shift change how you, listening now, view the world's changing climate and how you prepare for it?